Welcome back to Google Class. I am James here. Today I am going to take class Transfer of Property Act. Okay. Section 116 of TP Act. Under the chapter lease. Here kinds of lease. Kinds of lease. A tenant at will, a tenant at sufferance, and tenant at holding over. Okay. Section 116 explain about a tenant at will, then tenancy by sufferance and tenancy at holding over. Okay, what is the meaning of a tenant at will as per the TP Act? A tenant at will is where lands or tenements are let by one man to another. That means where lands or tenements are let by one man to another to have and to hold to him at the will of lessor. Okay, by force of which lease the lessee is in possession. In this case, the lessee is called a tenant at will. Understand? Because he has no certain nor sure estate, for the lessor may put him out at what time it pleased him. His tenancy is determined and he can be ejected as soon as notice to that effect is given. Okay, it is called tenant at will. Here one old case, English case in 1845, 18th century. Okay, the facts of the case: William Hull was tenant from year to year. Okay, yearly. Sometimes the lease will be continuously 1 year, 2 years. Sometimes yearly once. The overall also sometimes olden age orally they are agreed and renewed the lease also. But in this case, Deward, D-O-E-D, Deward Hull, H-U-L-L, Deward Hull versus Wood, W-O-O-D, Wood. Okay, this is a case. Here William Hull was a tenant from year to year. He was died in 1842. His widow wife continued as tenant, and she paid rent for the property leased. Okay, after 2 years in 1844 she married Wood. He is a defendant in this case. Okay, Deward Hull is William Hull's father. Okay, William Hull's father took letter of administration and seeking for the eviction of the defendant and wife of late William Hull. This is the fact of the case, and this case before the court held that the term vested in Deward Hull, and that he was entitled to evict her after demand for possession, as she was a tenant at will. What is the main principles in this fact of the case was applied here? Number 1, her payment of rent were treated as having been made on behalf of the administrator. and not so as to imply a surrender by the administrator, and the grant of a new lease to her. She was in occupation by lease of the administrator, and therefore a tenant at will. And second principle, a tenancy at will is terminable by either party. Okay, if both parties accept, it's okay. A tenant at will is not liable to pay rent because there has been no demise to him. He is not liable for mezneh profits or damages like trespasses because his occupation is permissive, but he is liable to pay compensation for use and occupation. Okay, this is the example of the tenant at will case. Okay, and another one, tenancy at sufferance. The meaning is one who has originally come into possession of the land by a lawful title. Okay, lawful title, and holds such possession after his title as determined. Here, a tenancy at sufferance is merely a fiction to avoid continuous in possession operating as a trespass, but it cannot be created by contract. It arises only by implication of law. A person who has been in possession under a lawful title, that means ab initio, continues in possession after that title as determined. Okay, without the consent of the person entitled, is simple, we can say the possession was rightful in its inception but wrongful in its present conception. A tenant holding over after the expiration of his term is called as a tenant at sufferance. The real meaning is a tenant holding over after the expiration of his term is called as a tenant at sufferance. The tenant at sufferance does not create the relationship of lessor and lessee. The landlord is entitled to determine a tenancy at a sufferance at any time without notice or demand also. Okay, this is called tenancy at sufferance. And another definition of this section 116 of TP Act, tenancy at holding over. Tenancy at holding over. What is the meaning? Tenancy at holding over. The meaning is, if a lessee remain in possession thereof after the determination of the lease granted by the lessor to the lessee, but the lessor or his legal representative or any other person legally authorized by the lessor accepts rent from the lessee and also assents to his continuing in possession the lease. Okay, for the said period of continuation period, there is no valid agreement between the lessee or lessor. Still, the lessee is in the possession of the property. In the absence of any agreement to the contrary, the lessee is renewed from year to year, or from month to month, or from day to day. Whatever may be in the circumstances, a tenant in such circumstance is called tenancy at holding over. Okay, I'll give you example of this tenancy at holding over. Example, A lets a house to B. Okay, A lets a house to B for 3 years on monthly rent of rupees 1000. Okay, 3 years have been completed. There is no renewal of agreement or fresh agreement also. Still B continues in the house by paying rupees 1000. A accept it. As long as such payment and possession continues, it is called tenancy at holding over. Right? Clear? And another example, we'll take A lets a house to B for the lifetime of C. Note down, A lets a house to B for the lifetime of C. C dies, but B continues in possession of the same house. A is continuously taking the rent from B even after C's death. Here, B lease is renewed from year to year, and his possession is called the tenancy at holding over. Now it clear? Yes. Okay students, I'll close this session. We'll meet you again next section, next class. Thank you.